At my darkest moments, when I felt as somebody could possibly feel, I had moments like that when I was 17. I had moments like that repeatedly. And I had perhaps the worst and most prolonged moments a little bit later on when I was in my late 20s. What kept me going was a suspicion that things could get better, that there was always at least the possibility that things would be better than they were right then at some time in the future. And I don't think anybody could say that's not true. Who could guarantee with 100% certainty that things will be just as bad as they are now, that you're always going to feel just as bad as you do now in the lowest part of the depressive cycle, if that's happened, if that's where you are right now, or that's where you wind up at a certain point? There's always hope. And some people don't realize that that's an advantage that I had, and that's why I didn't kill myself those times, even though I thought of it. Yes, I did. And a lot of psychologists, psychiatrists refused to even see me. They didn't want to deal with somebody who's having those kinds of thoughts. But because I had that other thought there, that knowledge that somehow I had that it's possible that things could get better, I didn't kill myself and I kept going. And what I want you to realize, and what I want anybody who is depressed and maybe having suicidal thoughts to realize and take some comfort in, is that there is always hope, and that's the truth. We can't guarantee, no one can say that it's always going to be that bad, even though it feels that way, even though you may have reasons in your head thinking why it's not going to get better. That's not the case. There's always hope things could turn around. A miraculous event could happen tomorrow. You could get cosmically rewired, or more likely, you'll get glimmers of hope. You'll start making slow and steady progress. That's the most likely way. You'll make slow and steady progress. You'll get yourself steadily to better and better states of mind. And yes, it will be better than it is right now, or it will be better than it has been. So there's always hope, no matter what your age is, what's happened in the past, what's going to happen tomorrow does not have to be dictated by what already happened. And it's never too late to turn things around. The mind likes to say, it's too late. Things aren't going to turn around. It's too late for me. I made these mistakes and now I can't get out of it. But the truth is that that's not the case. And we keep having opportunities every day, every moment, and every hour to turn things around, to make little changes. And now what matters is, do we make a little change that helps us feel better for that hour, for a couple hours, for a day? Or do we start down a path that's going to make us slow but incremental and progressive change that will finally uproot the depression? And in my life, up until a certain point, I've been making a lot of small little attempts, some Hail Marys, doing things to make myself feel a little bit better that were very short term. What we're going to do here is present the things that I finally came to through all this struggle and hardship that led me to a better place, and actually a sustained place. And I actually couldn't believe it. You know, being able to wake up and have days where the depression wasn't there anymore, or in the beginning was not there like it had been, or maybe I could still feel it. And sometimes I do still feel some of that residual tension there, but I know that it's primarily just a feeling, whereas my whole state of mind is not wrapped up in it. And I went out just today. I'm in Augsburg, Germany, and it's quite cold. There's a whole blanket of clouds, a huge gray sky out the window over here. And what was really interesting was not the weather outside. I had been in plenty of bad weather on the East Coast of the United States, but what was interesting is, even with all that bad weather, which would normally have a down effect on my mood, I was feeling okay. And even in a situation where I was fairly isolated, there weren't even a lot of people around, I was still okay. And that's something that would definitely not have happened a few years back before I got deep into this process that we're going through. So you will definitely be surprised over time as you put in the effort how progressively the elements of that depression one by one go away, and you begin to see and get more hope, and that hope transforms into a reality that you don't have to live with this depression. I lived for depression, as I've said, basically as long as I can remember, and I've lived through some really bad periods. And because it had just been there for so many years and just kept being there, I didn't know reality without depression. I didn't know that I could exist in a non-depressed way. And I'm here to tell you and give you the hope that it is 100% possible. And that if I could do it, you also can do it. And, you know, we've all had some really hard times with this, and it's time to come together as a community and support each other, and also gives ourselves the encouragement we need and the hope we need to get through to better times, because depression doesn't deserve to run our lives any longer.